my voice is worth being heard, and I have a story to tell, and I have a perspective to share. When I look back, I realize that I actually had both filmmaking and theater in my life from a very young age because of my grandfather and his video camera.
Okay, I'm gonna make it go, the printing go up, all right?
He took so much video of me growing up. So from about 18 months or 2 years old, I was well aware of the camera and where the camera was and playing to the camera and what it was to produce a little segment of something.
Can we begin with my first dance?
And I didn't even realize that it was all going into me. Molokai is an incredibly special place. It's got an energy to me that's very calm and welcoming. These are the roads that my dad taught me to drive on when I was 13 years old. Because as you can see, there's nobody on them, so it's pretty safe. The pace here is really slow and peaceful and very family and community oriented. The aina, the land here, is valued and appreciated and worked. I feel like everywhere else changes so much, so often. But here, it's just Molokai. Church is the same, Coconut Grove is the same, town is the same. Even the restaurant that burned down when I was a kid is still there. Still burnt down. So I started making my first films here on Molokai when I was about 8 or 9 years old with the little VHS video camera that my dad had bought. And I was also producing plays in school here.
Do something. I don't know.
That, I think, sparked my interest in storytelling and not just being an actress, but actually, thinking about being behind the camera. So I've always been a natural leader, and from a young age held leadership positions. And a producer on a film set is the leader. They set the culture for the film, for the project. And that's something that I've worked really hard on as a manager, as a leader in my life. It's setting the right tone and the intention that we're here to do something pono, that we're here to do something fun. So as a producer, a lot of my work is about Google Sheets and schedules and budgets and things that you wouldn't necessarily think are about expressing yourself or performing. But at the end of the day, as a producer, I do express myself and perform a lot as far as my voice in what projects I'm working on. And going forward, I'm committed to really exercising that ability as much as possible in choosing women-centered films, Hawaiian-centered films, Asian-centered films, sharing voices that have been erased or silenced. By taking those indigenous perspectives, combined with modern technology, we can find a way forward as a human civilization that will actually help to heal all of us and the earth versus the path we're going down now. So I'm very proud that this year at the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival, I helped produce 3 films, and they cover 5 different languages. They feature Olelo Hawaiʻi, Tagalog, Samoan, Tongan, and English.
Basta, huwag mo kami ipagkapalit sa mga Hawaiian.
Ipagbalik na ako kay Ira.
Ano?
Come on, sis. Tasi, lua, kolu, fa.
Copy.
그리고 할머니는 매일매일 일을 열심히 한다.
That's special to me that we're getting those languages out in the world for people who know them to hear them and for people who don't know them to hear them. I think that sign language is a huge part of the kinds of films that I'm going to be making and deaf culture. My mom is a sign language interpreter. I do have a deaf foster brother. I asked him to star in one of my films and he did great.
Hello, I'm JANA Park Moore. I'm the executive director of Hawaii Filmmakers Collective.
In my life, as a very busy working mom who has a toddler and 2 middle schoolers and voluntarily runs a nonprofit organization and works at a school and does probably 4 to 7 projects at a time as a producer, I feel so lucky to have found something that feeds my soul, that I know that I will do until the day that I die. If you're trying to have any sort of leadership role in the film industry as a woman, there are a multitude of challenges personally, professionally. There's sexism, there's old boys clubs, there's just chunks of time in my life where I simply cannot work because I'm choosing to birth my children and then raise them. And I remember a really important conversation I had where I asked a local owner of a production studio what his advice was for me to eventually become a director, potentially for him, because he was interested in hiring me as an intern. And he asked what my long-term goals were. And I said, maybe directing. And his response was, I just can't pitch a female director to my clients. Half of our world is women, and half of the stories should be told by women. To me, that's very logical. So I come from a long line of very strong, independent, trailblazing women. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, and I want to carry on that legacy, and I do it through film and storytelling. And that's a really important kuleana. And it's powerful, and I take it very seriously.